Welcome back to the Movieverse. Special guest today, got Griffin Schiller, FilmSpeak.
Hey, yo.
We had him on the podcast, man,
2 years ago, probably 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Yeah,
It's been a long time.
Back towards the beginning when we were all virtual.
We just talked Gran Turismo.
That's
Oh God, is that what we talked about?
That's what we talked about.
It's a good
the
movie.
surprise of the year.
Yeah,
that's right.
that's true.
Right. That's actually
We all liked it.
Yeah,
We all liked it.
awesome. Awesome.
Well, Griffin, do you want to give just a little shout out to yourself where people can find you real quick?
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for having me back on. It was a last time we chatted, and it seems like you got like a new kind of like version of this thing up and going. So happy to be back on and everything. Yeah. I mean, if you guys are like interested in, well, maybe don't go subscribe just yet. Figure out if you like me first. But like, if you're interested in just
hear my takes, see if you like me.
Yeah, right. If you're interested in just like video essays, analyses, and just insane takes on film and television, you can check out the FilmSpeak channel, or just my random thoughts on like Twitter and threads at Griff Schiller.
I was gonna say Twitter and threads, the best content, but YouTube.
Griffin's YouTube videos though, they are. He puts in the work,
and they're
good.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, not to
simp. I'm trying to simp for you, but like,
yeah, it's good content for sure.
Thank you, man.
You do a great job.
Yeah,
I appreciate
your videos for.
Yeah, I've been watching you for years.
Yeah,
5+ years probably.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, today's episode, we're just going to be going over a ton of different things. We have a few different sections. We'll go over. We're going to talk about Wuthering Heights in preparation for the movie coming out this Valentine's Day weekend.
Yep, Griffin's seen it.
That's the nice part about having Griffin on is he's big time like that. And he can talk about. No, I'm kidding.
We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to ask you some questions about that. We'll also talk about some MCU stuff, couple Star Wars things, but we'll go ahead and get into it. So first, obviously, you saw Wuthering Heights. Was it a week ago now?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was about a week ago.
Tuesday, Monday.
Yeah.
All right.
So first, we just kind of wanted to ask you like a little summary on your thoughts of the movie, like what you'd rate it out of 5.
Yeah,
and then we've got some more specific questions about it.
Yeah, for sure. So I gave it just right out the gate. I gave it like a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd or something like that. I don't really like ratings are so like arbitrary to me, just because some like half stars or whatever can like change within like my attitude. But like I really dug it, and I'm someone who like I hated Saltburn, but like Promising Young Woman was a movie that I actually really loved, that I really got what Emerald Fennell was like going for with that film. So like I'm not one of those like those Emerald Fennell like haters, but I get that she's kind of like a polarizing filmmaker because she's kind of like a provocateur, and I think that's part of the appeal to her. But with Saltburn, it felt like she was ill-equipped to tackle like the ideas that she wanted to explore in that film, and it wound up making this like unintended gross commentary on just like middle class boogeymen to like the elites. And I think if you just
agree with me then.
It's really weird. But I having seen Wuthering Heights and like also just understanding her attachment to the material, like I kind of get what she was trying to go for. I just don't think I think it works a little bit better here when you have different characters from different class systems that she can sort of engage with here. So anyways, I didn't really like Saltburn that much, even though I thought it was a gorgeous looking film. Sure. Wuthering Heights, though, I really dug because I thought that it kind of took the same approach that like Baz Luhrmann did with The Great Gatsby and Romeo and Juliet, or Moulin Rouge and such, where it's just like very contemporary. It's anachronistic. It's a very emotions first experience that kind of stems from the filmmaker's own experience with the material, and it's emphasizing the things that stuck out to them. So it really does feel like just a singular interpretation of the text. Now, Wuthering Heights is kind of like this it's like a touchstone. Obviously, everyone like really has like passionate opinions about it, and so I think if you're like a novel purist, if you're someone who cares deeply about if you're someone who cares deeply about like Emily Bronte's work, this probably isn't going to be for you, because it doesn't get into like all of the machinations and the complications, the story is about. But I do think that it does capture the conflicting emotions that one would feel while reading it, especially if you're like, for Emerald Fennell, like a 14-year-old girl, and you're like being introduced to like all of these ideas of just like sadism and sex and like class and like what society is telling you what you should desire versus like what you're desiring deep down. And like for me, and maybe you guys actually, once you see the film, could speak to this a little bit more, but like for me, I felt like it was in direct conversation with just like the puritanical kind of movement we've gotten recently, where it's like the anti-sex in movies crowd, where there's like this repression. I think that a lot of people feel like people are like weird talking about sex and like stuff that's true. Adventurous. And this movie is kind of criticizing that. It shows how like that kind of intense repression can actually turn you into a very cruel person, and it really just fawns like toxic tendencies and whatnot. And so like I really latched onto that more than anything else, and that's why I think like, at least in my head, I really hope that like it resonates.
People can do that.
Yeah, I hope it like speaks to just modern audiences in that way. I mean, there's so much more that you can kind of go into with it, because it is just like a dense the original text is dense, and I think Fennell's work, while not necessarily covering everything, I think does touch on a lot of different things. But yeah, and then also like Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi are just like, very, very good in this. I think
they're just fantastic.
I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah, like Jacob Elordi especially, I think is just like really interesting, because like one of my criticisms of the film is that I think Heathcliff is a bit I wouldn't say underdeveloped, but he's not as complicated as perhaps he is in the original book, and as complicated as Catherine, Margot Robbie's character is. And that's mostly because I think Catherine is the POV character for Emerald Fennell. And that makes a lot of sense, given just like her being a girl reading this book. It's like, oh, I'm going to latch on to the female protagonist here. Yeah. And I think the thing with Heathcliff is that like a lot of the social and the class and the race kind of undertones that people found in that original text are surrounding him. Yeah. And she wisely doesn't she wisely opts not to speak directly on those issues. And I think if she had, she'd probably fall into the same territory that she did with Saltburn, where it's like, you're someone who,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like I appreciate you maybe trying to make to talk about these things, but you're just ill-equipped to do so. So she wisely focused on like her experience and everything like that. So yeah, but going back to, I guess, Elordi, like I think the thing with his character is that he's very there's like an internal nature to this guy, and there's just like an allure that he presents that I think is very like interesting. Like you understand why people are like drawn to him. You understand why Catherine's kind of drawn to him. There's something enigmatic, mysterious. He's like he's like rougher, maybe a little dangerous, and so like there's like all of these elements. Yeah. It's like there's all of these elements to that character to his performance that I think he does really well. Like he's able to pull from like the cruelty that I guess he showed in something like Euphoria, and then he's also he's able to put on the charm in instances that we've seen across his filmography, whether it's Saltburn or Priscilla, and then that's even in those, I was
excited for is to see a mix of that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like, and even in those films, I think like while there is like a charming front to him, there is like a darkness within him that kind of reveals itself. As the film goes on. So I really liked that here, and I think maybe the writing isn't like the most complex for him, but he pulls a lot out of the text, and there's just I was really blown away by his
goes 12 out of 10 with his effort kind of thing, even though he's got not a whole lot to work with. I would
sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think like with a movie that is like so heavily on like relying on like vibes and emotions and like this sweeping romanticism, I think that's that you kind of want to rely a bit more on your actors to bring those emotions.
That makes sense.
Good point.
So that kind of leads me into, I was going to ask you, because I feel like you've touched on a few of these things, but if you were to like tell somebody asked you, okay, Wuthering Heights, like, what do you think about it? And you had to give them 3 reasons why someone would like this movie or why they would go see it. I feel like you kind of touched on a few of them, but could you give us 3?
Yeah, I mean, like if you're just like, if you like tragic romance, I think that's a thing. Like there's a classic, while being very contemporary, I think stylistic, like from a cinematic standpoint, there's a lot of like classical references. Like obviously, like they're pulling from Gone with the Wind for the poster, but that also finds its way into some of the shots with like the shot with like him on the horse with like the red sky behind him. Sick. There's a lot of like French films that she's kind of pulling from. So there's like there's a lot of classical sensibilities that I think are remixed through a modern lens. And so like it's not historically accurate by any means, but it's something that like feels like it could be, which is really cool. So I dig that. I think just as a a sweeping cinematic spectacle that like will like sweep you up in like the emotions or whatnot. I think that's like a massive reason to go see something like this.
That makes sense.
And then, yeah, I mean, I think it's like, I want to say it's like a good date movie, but like, it is kind of about like a
Valentine's Day release,
Yeah, it's like,
it's a good book club movie and a semi good date movie.
Maybe it makes you appreciate a healthy relationship more. You're like, I'm glad we're not like that.
No, exactly. I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you're in a toxic relationship, probably don't go see this movie because it might bring up some stuff.
Like we're just like them.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like, ooh, this is gross. But for most everyone else, like this is just it's a great date night movie. I think for Valentine's Day, especially, like a great release period. So, I don't know. Like I really dug it.
Just Lordy and Robbie.
Yeah, Lordy. You have 2 hot, talented people who are being and talented on
they're everyone's crush. Like
exactly,
all the girls are into Lordy, all the guys are into Robbie. It's just like,
after watching it, could you have casted somebody better in either of those roles for the roles, do you think, like for what she's going for? Obviously, if you're looking at the book, there probably is somebody, but for what she's going for with her film, do they seem like 2 of your better choices?
I mean that's kind of a tough question to ask because I can't give you someone that I would probably cast ahead of them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I think they're the only people who could play these roles.
Good point.
Even in Fennell's adaptation. So like, I can't really like answer that, but like, do I think that they are like really good in their roles? Like, yeah, absolutely. Okay. I think they excel in their roles for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I love that. And then the other one I wanted to ask you, so after watching the movie, you said, quote, Jacob Elordi Bond now. What did you see from him in this movie that made you feel so convicted about that?
Yeah, I mean, like literally everything that I was saying earlier that really like drew me to his performance feels very Bond. Dalton played James Bond, and he also played Heathcliff in an adaptation of Wuthering Heights back in the day. I think back in the 70s or so. Ray Fiennes, who wasn't Bond, was heavily. Yeah, I mean, like he was M in the Craig films, but he was also like heavily considered for Bond back in the day. Also played.
I didn't know that.
I just think that Bond is a Byronic hero, like a Byronic romantic hero, and so I think it just makes a lot of sense that guys who can play Heathcliff really well are probably best suited to play James Bond. It's not everyone necessarily, but I think I mean I think with like Lordy especially, like the present, like him presenting as like this very like charming debonair kind of guy, and then the darkness kind of being revealed underneath is cool. I don't know. There's a lot kind of going on there, and then also just within the context of Wuthering Heights, like he becomes a scorned lover, and he does exercise cruelty because of his frustrations, not only with Catherine, but just like everyone around him. And so like that feels like that's a level of just like kind of immaturity that I think Bond also has, where he like,
that's true.
His romantic experience caused him to view the world a certain way. So
I love that.
And he's got the look too. He's got a great look for it. I mean, that's why they're
a great look. Yeah, exactly.
All the rumors are saying it's him. So.
And do you have any issues with him? I'm just curious what your thoughts are with him not being British Do you have any what's your take on that? I mean,
close enough.
It's close enough, right?
Honest to God, my thing is if they're from the Commonwealth, that's fine. And also there's precedent for this. It's like George Lazenby in On Her Majesty's Secret Service was Australian. Timothy Dalton is Welsh, which I understand is part of the UK, but he's not English, right? Pierce Brosnan was Irish, and not Northern Ireland. He was Irish.
I thought it was English.
No. Pierce
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is in the world we live in. People find hate to find hate. So that's why I was curious. I feel like that's not something. Whenever I see people on Twitter talking about
they would find
how, no, it's got to be British. I'm like,
there will be that dude out there.
It can't be a Lordy.
Still believing that.
Yeah, it's like people that are like, it can't be a Lordy. He's not. I'm like, dude. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think the thing is people are they're dogging on his height, which is insane because the first time in history that a man has ever been thought of as being undesirable for something because he's too tall. It's that's insane.
It's not a thing.
Also, that's what the camera is for, right? You can
true.
Frame and it's just it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, also again, I know Scotland is part of the UK, but Scotland is Scotland. People don't think of being Scottish as being English. No. Sean Connery, the original James Bond, is Scottish. So there is the only two people who are British English, quote unquote, are Daniel Craig and Roger Moore. That's it.
Wow.
So there is precedent.
That's such a good point.
For Bond not being English. Even though he's in Australia and it's out of the Isles and everything like that, it is part of the Commonwealth. They share a lot of the same cultural DNA.
Yeah, I was going to say the Commonwealth is, I think, the good take there. Because, I mean, it'd be one thing. It'd be one thing if you're casting from America.
Like an American,
Well, even the American, I wouldn't love it, but there was a period of time, before Roger Moore was cast as James Bond, where they were going to go with James Brolin. And I actually think that, if you see James Brolin's audition and you kind of understand the kind of the character he was, you could see a version of James Brolin being James Bond and him doing it well. I mean, they were looking at Steve McQueen as well when Sean Connery.
I don't think I knew that.
I didn't know that either.
So it's the producers were already looking at people outside of Englishmen to play this character. I think he should stay, a Commonwealth. But there's precedent for all these things. It's not random. It's.
I love that.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's our Wuthering Heights thoughts.
Thank you.
Obviously, thank you, Griffin, for sharing that.
You heard it here first.
Yes, you did. Obviously, let us know your guys' thoughts if you've seen it. Once you're seeing these videos, let us know your thoughts. We're gonna go ahead and shift into a hot take we have. This is a random. It's not even really part of a section, but we just kind of wanted to throw this in here because we wanted to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, it's a hot take of ours.
It is. It's genuinely hot. And the reason they call it a hot take is because we're the odd man out. So no, we're not defensive about it, but we watched Mulholland Drive the other day. Okay, it was us and then one other guy. One that we heavily looked forward to watching.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
the hype's crazy.
The hype is insane. We genuinely were, I guess. And it's crazy. It's not I've seen so many movies alike to this that I love, but I just couldn't help but I think all three of us kind of just felt the sense of being bored throughout.
I thought it was so bad.
And the twists, I mean, it worked when the twist hit, but we were kind of we weren't really ever gripped or grappled in throughout the film. And then the twist happened and we were like, oh, I don't know. And maybe we just weren't ones to get it.
It ended and I was like, I don't get why this is a 5 out of 5 for everybody. It's 90-something% Rotten Tomatoes. It's one of the highest rated movies on Letterboxd. I think it's what? So I don't get that hype. I don't get it.
I want to hear.
I was like, Griffin will have good thoughts on this. Yes. I gotta hear why he likes this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a minute since I've watched it, so I probably can't speak as just in depth on it as perhaps I'd like. I mean, it's I guess really all I would have to ask is do you like David Lynch? That's what it.
So that
was our first movie of David Lynch. That was
our first David Lynch film.
Oh yeah, and that's probably his most accessible one. So it just might be that he's not for you.
Oh whoa, it is.
Why?
Oh no.
Yeah. Why do you think David Lynch wouldn't be for some people? That's what I'm curious about. What is it?
He's an abstract surrealist filmmaker. I think he's a lot of his movies draw from just they tackle film in a very painterly mindset where he's not really interested in giving you answers. He's not interested in the most linear kind of narrative. He's presenting you with something surreal and abstract, which is what I literally just said. But then he's like, it's for you to kind of like sit with and think about your interpretations of what happened. I mean, I think that's the brilliant. I mean, like people have asked him about like, that Blue Velvet and stuff, Twin Peaks for years, and he refuses to give answers because he's just like, listen, it's what you glean from it. It's like what you take away from it.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, he's just I think it's just really interesting because he's a filmmaker who challenges you as a viewer because like sometimes you don't get his films at first watch, and so like there's a you're trying to uncover like what you're not getting or like what it is like for you guys, like what it is that other people see in this film that maybe you're not seeing. And so
your recommendation is to watch it again, give it like give it another.
Yeah. Do it. Watch it again. Like I just like read some thoughts on it just to try and like wrap your head around it a bit more. Watch some of his other films, see if you can like notice some like through lines or just like, ideas. I mean it's like they're some people just don't like that, and that's totally fine. Like some people don't like certain painters or whatever because the art is really not for them. It doesn't make it bad, but it just personal.
Which is why it's art.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's funny because I guess I said some things that really offended people. I didn't get it. Yeah,
people wrecked us for those thoughts.
Which is fine. Crazy. Again, and I'm always nice back. I'm always like, hey, man, sorry we disagreed. Like I feel like I genuinely hate the fact.
I know.
I didn't love.
I want to like it so bad. It's one of those movies.
But I was laughing throughout the film. Like all three of us were in. Like I couldn't quite get myself to grip into it. I don't know. But,
I mean, I think to be fair, I think there is like his movies do have like comedy in them. Like there is absurdism in it.
It is also kind of meant to be that way because that's something maybe if I went into it on second watch or if I seen more of his films, it would maybe help because there were certain acting elements, NPC like
NPC. Wow,
I don't know in certain moments. But
I think there's just a very it's just stylized. Like it's
sure.
Like I think if you look at like Lynch, like he's someone who like grew up in like Americana, and so like he also recognizes the weird like societal confines of that period of time and that way of living, and so he kind of like tries to pull out the absurdism in it. So like I think if you like look at his movies is just like they're approached with the through the what's the way of phrasing it? Like he's looking at the 50s in like at the time like a modern lens, and then he's kind of commenting just on like that way of life. Like it's a bit like Tim Burton, I would say, a bit like more heightened than Tim Burton, but there's I mean he's someone who like just grew up in a period of time that is that finds it peculiar, finds social constructs peculiar, and I think you see a lot of that in there. I mean with Mulholland Drive, I think it is it's literally like a movie about just passion, like making it in Hollywood and stuff like that, and like beauty standards, and then also just jealousy and wanting to be.
And I needed to pick up more on that stuff, and that's what I wonder if on a second watch I would pick up on more of that because I'm somebody that normally both of us we usually pick up on things like that very easily. I just for whatever reason things went right over my head. I don't know.
No. I mean that's fair. I mean like again like watch it again like. Maybe just like do some like reading up on just like the film and whatnot if you're like really struggling. But I mean, ultimately, like I like David Lynch is one of those filmmakers where it's like if someone said he didn't like him, I'd be like, I mean, okay, that makes sense.
I mean, okay.
I'm hearing from some people.
He's interesting, but
okay.
Is Mulholland Drive your favorite David Lynch film? Do you have a favorite?
Probably. I mean, I would say his best work, just like as a thing, is Twin Peaks. That's not really
what I'm hearing too.
But yeah, I think Mulholland Drive is probably my favorite. I also really like. I mean, Blue Velvet is like kind of a masterpiece, so that's another one.
Oh, okay, that's one I should go to.
Yeah, but again, these are all films that it's just like,
sure.
Maybe
that's the thing. Yeah. What you were explaining about the film, I normally do vibe really well with. So that's why I just didn't understand why I didn't vibe with this one.
Yeah, that's
good. And I loved his reaction. I don't know if you noticed when I said NPC, like he's like, "Wow, NPC." He's like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree with that. I think there's just like there's a way. I mean, so I don't know. It's the same sort of thing and I don't think it's necessarily to this extent, but like when people say that Keanu Reeves is a bad actor, I like vehemently disagree.
I hate that.
I think his delivery is unorthodox, but it's delivered with intent.
Yeah. And
it's
so him.
Him. Yeah. Scene partner, I think he's very giving to his co-stars, and you got to be able to recognize that. So it's like, it's not necessarily to that extent, but there is just like a style that if you're not on that same wavelength, then I don't know, maybe
that makes sense.
Is difficult to get. Yeah.
Well, I'll be messaging you after.
I watched breakdowns on it after to try and understand more. So like I do understand it more. So I wonder if
you watch Heavy Spoilers.
I know the twist now. Huh?
Did you watch Heavy Spoilers breakdown of it?
I think so. I watched a few. That's the first ones that popped on the algorithm.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, all right. I was like, that all makes sense. So maybe I go back and I'm like, all right, maybe that scene works a little better. We'll see.
Now.
But still, I think to go to the extent of 5 out of 5 is crazy. I bet I could go up to maybe like 4. We'll see. But like, I'm like 5 out of 5. That's a high bar.
It's a high bar right now. But high bar out.
Okay. Yeah, he's right.
All right. Well, thank you for going over that with us. That was going to be just really
I really want to do your thoughts, and honestly, your thoughts were great.
No,
those were great thoughts.
I'm glad. I feel like I just floundered my way through that because I haven't seen the movie in a minute. But
I mean, a movie that is beloved like that you personally love. I feel like you may not be able to talk about it as eloquently as a film essay guy like yourself, as you want to, but like you did great.
Yeah.
So we wanted to hop into some MCU stuff. I'm trying to think how I want to go about this. So I want to cover this a couple different ways, but I don't want you to dive into certain thoughts yet. So let's start with, can you give me, don't talk about them yet, because I'm asking you but can you give me your ranking? Give me your ranking of the Doomsday trailers. Like how your favorite to least favorite?
The 3. 4.
My ranking of the Doomsday trailers.
Yeah, like your personal, which ones you personally like?
Like that one's lame. That one's great.
And you could say all of them are lame, but like
they all are pretty bad. I would say that the one that I liked the most until you realize that it's like a Doomsday trailer. Not that it's like you're realizing it, but it's just like until you think about the fact that it's a Doomsday trailer. It's actually a Thor trailer. And it's really just because it cements the fact that like Infinity War, like Marcus McFeely and the Russos actually kind of get that character. They know how to write that character in an interesting way.
Yeah.
So like if that was a trailer for like a new Thor movie, fuck yeah, man, all in. That sounds
true.
Great.
Good point.
So that would be my favorite. The X-Men one was fine if it was a trailer for an X-Men movie and not Avengers Doomsday.
Okay.
I'm
sensing a theme here.
I mean, all of them. I mean, I don't think the Cap one I think the Wakanda and Fantastic Four one was just really stupid. And then the Cap one was just like, you thought the Cap one was the worst one?
No, the Wakanda one.
Oh yeah, that one.
I put the Wakanda one and the Cap one on the same level for me, like as far as like impact or what I cared about.
I would agree with you, but I actually saw the Cap one in a theater, and it like. I still don't like it, but I kind of got the
idea,
the appeal of it. Yeah, like they're. I mean, it just kind of shows like why that casting is like so monumental and generational, and like means a lot to people. Like there's emotions, within that trailer. I don't think there's any emotions in that Wakanda.
No, I was going to say. So like, what is even I saw some people like, and I love them, Escape Pod, like love those guys. But like, I saw some different people that were talking about that Wakanda trailer like it was their favorite one.
Wait, for real?
I don't know
That's
what
insane.
The purpose of that trailer was. Genuinely, like I watched that trailer and I'm like that.
Yeah.
So to me, right, in the Doomsday trailers, like the Thor one, at least like you said, it at least gave me this feeling of like that's the Thor.
Oh yeah, like that writing is good.
Yeah, and the writing feels good in that.
Stakes are high.
There. Stakes feel high. I like the color grading, everything about it. Like it gives me good vibes, right?
Yeah.
But then like I watched the Wakanda one, I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing, and I'm like, and people
it's such a weird choice to make those characters.
Well, yeah, people were going crazy about the fact that, you know, like Fantastic Four meets. I don't know, didn't make any sense. I'd agree with you. I feel like the ones that I really liked were the Thor and the X-Men one.
Yeah, those are for sure the best.
I get your thought. I get what you're saying about like if it wasn't a Doomsday trailer and it was an X-Men trailer, like let's go. I think that's how.
But also at the same time, like I don't want to see that version of the X-Men anymore. I mean, I've like ranted about this so much at this point and so many videos about this. I just like, I'm so sick of that incarnation of the X-Men being resurrected solely.
But we never saw James Marsden like this.
I don't fucking care, man. Like, I just want to see a different Cyclops. Like, give him the yellow suit. I don't need to see James Marsden in a yellow suit. Like, unfortunately, sometimes you're just the right guy at the wrong time. We've seen that so many like times with actors and
it's true.
Like, you know, Val Kilmer as Batman. Like, I mean, granted, I don't think he wanted to do Batman and Robin, but it was just like that movie wasn't really. People didn't really like that movie when it came out. You know, but he was a perfect. I thought he was a perfect.
I thought he was a great Batman. Yeah,
exactly. It's just like it happens. I don't know. It's unfortunate, but like it is the way it is. So
you're right. That's a good point.
Brandon Routh as Superman. I don't think he's really a bad Superman, but he's in a terrible movie. Unfortunately.
So something hyped me up about seeing like some big huge whatever Sentinel like creatures.
Just visually, I was like
James Marsden taking off his. I think because I totally get what you're saying, and I do agree with that. I think they did get me the way they meant to get me, and I fell into their trap of like, damn, that was so sick.
Like I get it. Like Cyclops has like fucking awesome powers, and when they're shown cool on the big screen, like it's amazing.
And it's one thing the Russo brothers have done good a lot of the time is bringing out what we should see with characters, like what they did with Thor. I mean, right? That's one thing they have been good with. So next thing I want to ask you, what so we covered a couple of those. What are your thoughts on Doomsday then as a whole right now up to this point with everything that we've gotten so far, and and then just kind of mesh that with your thoughts on the MCU as a whole?
And I want to preface before you start, Griffin. Like, I remember that video. I remember watching your video when RDJ walked out as Dr. Doom and you did that first reaction video, and Griffin was not happy. I'll tell you that. Griffin was like, "What are we doing here? We got to bring back RDJ as Dr. Doom." So I'm curious where you're at now with that after these trailers.
Yes.
Oh, and my opinion has not changed. I think it's
Griffin.
It's just like I don't want to see that at all. Like it just I just I don't know. Like why would you want to see someone like why would you want to see Robert Downey Jr. play Dr. Doom instead of getting a new Dr. Doom? Why would you not want to establish a new Dr. Doom as like the epitome of this character? You know, without the baggage of Tony Stark and Iron Man. It just I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, I always thought it'd be another actor. I was shocked it was him.
I was shocked. Yeah.
I mean, it should be another actor. Like I like this to me just feels, and then there was that report that they were going to eventually recast Doom anyway. So I'm just like, well, then why is he like, what is the point? Why is
he crazy?
Like the only way they could, so is there a way they could redeem it for you? Like movie comes out, let's say that the writing of the story somehow, some way just makes sense. Like
Infinity War Endgame level.
And you're like, holy cow, okay, is there a way to do that for you? Do you think?
I don't know, man. Like I have, like, cause I mean, with any movie, I'll go in with an open mind and I'll receive it and navigate my thoughts. I can, check my biases at the door. Like Deadpool and Wolverine is a great example. I think the concept of that movie fucking sucks. And I didn't want to see them resurrect Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I wanted them to just move forward.
I remember that too. I remember you talking about that.
Right. But like, admittedly, I saw the film and I think my enjoyment of it has it's sitting about around like a 3 out of 5 right now. It maybe was like a 3.5 when I first saw it, but I was like, oh, you know what? You kind of did something interesting with the idea of nostalgia. So I got to give you credit there. Like there was still,
they did it in a way that worked.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, I think there's the possibility for Doomsday to surprise me. And I think So like the Secret Wars comic is all about the relationship between Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom, these two characters who have been at the core of the Marvel universe since the very beginning, who have ideological differences about how the world should work, and they're kind of forced to work together, and then they are enemies and whatnot in the end. So that is like the crux of that. If you apply that to the MCU, it makes a lot of sense that the movie would be focusing on the two characters who have been at the center of the MCU since the beginning, which is Tony and Cap. The problem is this isn't Tony, it's Doom.
And it's not Tony.
It's like,
I wonder if there's are they gonna surprise us in some way with some crazy story about connecting the dots? But then I hear some insiders be like, "Oh no, yeah, they're genuinely just planning on not even bringing up like Tony Stark in Doomsday," and I'm like,
I've heard that too.
Which is like to be fair, probably for the best. I don't want to be thinking about Tony Stark when I'm watching Robert Downey Jr. play.
But then again,
how can he not?
Then again, though, right? I think that goes to your point, though. If they're gonna do that, then just cast a different Doom. To me, it's like, what's the purpose of bringing RDJ as Doom?
Because he's the most iconic MCU actor. It's just
So
he has to be on purpose.
Like these are. I mean, you're bringing up a bunch of just like issues that I kind of just already like these are just fundamental things that like even if the movie's great, I'm probably just still going to struggle with that because I just like, it's like, oh, well, why couldn't you have told this like fantastic story with someone else with like an original Doctor Doom? Why did it have to be
more build up, better build up? I know.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it's the thing that I struggle with the X-Men. It's like, why are you indicating to the audience that there are only a select few actors who can play these characters? There are plenty of other actors out there for an opportunity to play these characters and who could do it well. So
I think they are telling us how desperate they are. That's the problem, and I think
there's a part here, especially with just like the inclusion of the X-Men with the all these legacy characters. The multiversal stuff. It's just like
they got to get butts and seats again. They got to get they have to be able to go into the X-Men with people hyped again.
Well, that's not my problem with it. My problem with it is the fact that they did not prioritize Fantastic Four and X-Men right after Avengers Endgame. That was the future of your cinematic universe. You'd taken a break and you would come back with like strong with these characters, introducing us to a whole new world within the MCU, a new conflict surrounding the mutants and stuff. Like, dude, like that's how you get people stoked again.
Such a good point.
So I don't know their whole just like process post Endgame has been a nightmare.
It has been a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
So
no denying that.
Let's talk about some good MCU stuff, or at least I would assume you're on the same page with us on this. But we'll talk about Wonder Man in just a second. But Brand New Day, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Question for you: how big of a role does Dustin Daniel Cretton play in your confidence level that Brand New Day will be great? Because I know that, at least from what I've seen, it seems like you're a big fan of his, like I am. I think like what he did with Wonder Man and Shang-Chi. I think he's done really successful work for the MCU. Do you feel like does he raise your confidence level a lot in that movie? Does he make you excited just the fact that he's involved at all, or?
Yeah, pre Wonder Man, it doesn't really move the needle for me. Post Wonder Man absolutely moves the needle for me. I think like Wonder Man feels a lot like a Spider-Man story. Like
I'd agree.
Just
good point.
Incorporating the the everyday person who's dealing with relatable struggles, and it's like they're a superpowered person, but they're it's their life and the drama like within like that encompasses their life, and having to like withhold their powers from the people they care about that actually makes it a compelling story.
Totally agree.
This is part of the reason why like I think the MCU has struggled, is because they like secret identities aren't a thing in the MCU anymore, and that's like part of the intrinsic drama of being a superhero. That's why there's.
I'm so glad you said that.
Spider-Man, I guess Wonder Man kind of right now because he's trying to like hold his powers.
Which I love. I like that aspect of what I think what makes Wonder Man great. I actually I get why people have been saying it's not really a superhero project, because I get why. I think that's what the MCU's done to all of us, though, is it makes Wonder Man not feel like a superhero project. But I disagree with that. I think Wonder Man is a great superhero project because it gets us back to the whole like identity chasing, and like he has powers, but where are they allowed? Where does he use them? All that kind of stuff, which I feel like is genuinely what more of a comic and like hero projects should feel like. Whereas, like you said, I feel like a lot of the recent stuff we get has been less of the mystery and just more of the face value, surface level stuff. So I like your point there, because I think that plays a good role.
I'll take Wonder Man over like almost all the Disney Plus shows we got from Marvel. I mean, it's such a better story.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I would probably that I think I prefer a bit more is Loki, but I just think that Loki is it's doing something very different.
Loki was
on its own thing.
Yeah, Loki was fantastic. But honestly, the fact that Wonder Man is even in that conversation, I think shows.
I know it is crazy.
Were you? So I'm curious. Because for us, Wonder Man genuinely wasn't.
I did not give a crap about it.
Didn't even.
Of course not. I mean, why would you?
It's like hype for it. I mean, nothing. And now I feel bad. One, I didn't even know. I blame Marvel Studios, because I feel like the marketing for it was crap. I mean, I had no clue Destin Daniel Cretton was even tied to it.
True.
I'd totally forgotten that.
Same.
It's funny because then I watched the movie or the show episode 1. Right away, I was locked in. I was like, "Oh, this is great." I haven't felt like this with an MCU project in a while. So
for sure, I agree. I mean, the market. I go back and forth because, like, I'm not going to say that I didn't see marketing for the show. I think, I mean, I would have been. I'd be curious to know just like how many, like, people who don't like follow this kind of stuff, like us or whoever, like were aware of this show even coming out.
That's what I'm saying.
Or maybe they saw like a trailer for it and they didn't even register that it was Wonder Man, right? Or they didn't even register that it was like an MCU project. So like, it's. I don't know. I think the good thing is that the response has been so strong that it like directed people's attention toward it and caused them to watch it. Like I think it wound up being like one of their most watched shows on the platform.
Wow.
So cool.
And I mean, it all came out at once too, instead of weekly.
Thank you.
Which I think for that show was smart, because if that show had come out weekly, I think the viewership would have dipped significantly.
For sure.
Hard.
Yeah.
Well, people would have forgotten about it. That's what I think, that this show proved something valuable though, which is that I feel like it showed you can do something, and as long as you do it well and you lock people in, it'll be successful. Like you really don't need to do all this nostalgia stuff all the time. Like you can just come up with really good content, put a lot of effort in it, get people that are passionate about it, which I feel like is sometimes the thing that's missing. Like you obviously got a lot of people in this Wonder Man project that you can just tell were so dialed in, and I don't know, every aspect of the show just worked really well for me.
No, for sure.
I just can't wait to see more. But
I hope they get that season 2. I mean, it's looking like they're gonna get a season 2. So
that's what I was gonna say. Where was it? I was gonna ask you something about that. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So I wanted to, as far as is it Yaya or Yaya? His name?
Yaya Abdul Mateen.
Yaya.
Yeah.
I tried to look up a Google pronunciation of it because I'd never want to mess it up, and it didn't help me out. So what are your let's see, you scrolled. Where'd it go? I just lost it. Oh, there we go. So do you see an Avengers type future for Yaya's character, or do you want Simon Williams, Wonder Man, to stay more of a character that is separate, if that makes sense?
I think Simon Williams is your back door into the X-Men, and I know that like a lot of
that's a good. I like that.
Well, I mean, they've kind of already teed up the X-Men and like the Marvels and Miss Marvel and stuff like that and whatever. But like but like Wonder Man felt like a great backdoor into it, because it's dealing with the ideas of like superpowered people having to hide who they are because of potential persecution from something like the Department of Damage Control. Like that is a quintessential X-Men story. I think what they're going to probably do, and if they were smart, they do this is they would make Simon Williams a mutant, and so then there's your first step into bridging the gap there and such. So,
and do you want him to continue as like a big? Because I just loved his portrayal of the character, but two. That I just love that story so much. Like I want to see him so much more, but then I get worried about him getting watered down in some way. But I don't know. I feel like he could be a good face to move forward with.
100%.
Totally. I mean, like Do I need to see him in like Avengers level projects? No. I would just like to see more of him doing his own thing. If he happens to, show up in an X-Men project, I think that's fine. That would make a lot of sense. But yeah, I mean, like he is like, he does have remarkable powers. So I guess there is that side where it's just sort of like, oh yeah, he could be like a real asset to the Avengers. But if they're gonna bring him into a team or something like that, I would almost rather see him do like the West Coast Avengers stuff, which is like he was like one of the founding members of the West Coast Avengers. So like you could do something with like him, Ant-Man, Kate Bishop.
That'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
I think that would actually be really cool.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would be a lot of fun to see that. But I don't need to see him in a team up thing. I just I want to get more Wonder Man.
That was one of my questions, and I totally wholeheartedly agree with you on that. I just don't want to risk him getting. I think his character works so well street level. Like just keep him grounded. And I think he can do so much for the MCU in that way too.
No, for sure.
Okay, well, let's scroll down a little bit more. We're gonna end on some agree or disagree questions, but before we get there, just a couple more things. So let's move over into Star Wars real quick. I did want to ask you a couple questions there. Yeah. Obviously, I retweeted you last night and said we're going to be talking about this. Right?
What did Griffin say?
So, well, he dogged on the Mandalorian Grogu trailer.
Wait, what? That trailer was 10 out of 10. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
No, not even close. I think it looked like AI.
I don't think anyone thinks that. You couldn't even fool me. No one believes that.
No, that was so bad.
So it was terrible.
They tried to. Did you see them try and justify it today too?
They did.
Yeah.
They released.
What they say?
Well, I don't know if
exactly. But it was like he basically was just like, oh, we were trying to do like a cutesy like homage to just like Super Bowl trailers, like Budweiser and stuff like that, and we thought it would just be a fun, creative way to like tease the movie, and they were basically like, oh, you just didn't get it, and it's like, no, we got it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It was just really stupid, and I think it was stupid because it's the kind of thing that if this was 2015, I think you could get away with it because they were like on top of the world, everyone was stoked for them. You could do a cutesy little thing like that.
You need the hype right now.
Yeah, this movie it's already struggling.
Well, so this is the thing is like, if this was 2015, there would be hype. The name Star Wars carries enough weight. And so that's enough to get people excited. Right now, they're thinking with a 2015 mentality, but Star Wars is not where it used to be. People people are so checked out on Star Wars. The brand has been completely tarnished by Disney. They are just like, run it into the fucking ground. Even something like Mandalorian, we have a character like Mando and Grogu that instantly became fan favorites in those first couple of seasons. It's like you've like completely milked them for all of their value, and now you've gotten to a point where people are just like, well, I don't really fucking care about this anymore because you've just everything that was interesting about these characters you've kind of sapped from
and that's what I was going to ask you about that because I was like, why do you feel like there's no excitement? And I think you just nailed it on the head.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
you just know
the marketing sucks for it. Mando season 3 doesn't help either. If only that would have been a goated season, but that season was so
forgettable. Or Book of Boba Fett. That doesn't help either. Yeah.
Yep.
Doesn't help.
It's like those projects for some reason were so bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, why couldn't you nail those to lead up to a movie like this?
Yeah, you can't. And that's the thing. It kind of bugs me that I would have been more excited for some sort of which I guess got put on the back burner now, but I would have been more excited for some sort of like a follow up to Ahsoka movie with kind of what they were doing there and teeing up there than this, like, because I think that was successful enough to do something. Like you said, you needed something to lead in that was successful. And Mando and Grogu, if this was coming after season 2, you're probably got people locked in. But my father-in-law, right? We're watching the Super Bowl and that little teaser comes on and he's like, "Oh, I love those guys." And then he was like, "Wait, there's a movie?" Like,
yeah.
Going over so many people's heads.
I bet people don't even know it's going to theaters. I bet they just think it's going to be on Disney Plus right away.
Probably.
And that's the thing.
I mean,
part.
I mean, this is kind of the issue that I have with just like things that are like that originate on TV that try and make like theatrical movies. Like I think there are some instances where it can work. Like I guess like Sex and the City or whatever, it kind of works.
Sure.
Or I mean even the X-File films I'm not really like crazy about, but there are people who really like that. Yeah, exactly. But for the most part, I just, if you're conditioned to watching something on TV, and I'm watching the TV thing now in a theater. It just feels really weird. And also, I think you're isolating a broader audience. You're only really making it for like the hardcore people who watch your show.
Again, there's a difference between a show and a movie. Like,
there is. Yeah, there absolutely is.
Right? Yeah. And that's what, to me, the Mando show, not in a bad way, in a great way, has never been something that is like cinematic to me.
Yeah.
It's the great part about those first 2 seasons was that it was much more of a, I don't know how to put it, like in a good way, but just much more of a father-son, like sit down on your couch, watch a good grounded TV show type vibe, you know? But it was never something that I ever imagined like, oh, I want to sit down in a theater.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Like it just never felt that kind of vibe. Whereas that's why I kind of point at, and it's not that I was the most excited for this either, but like I point at something like a follow-up to like the Thrawn and Ahsoka stuff. I feel like you at least teed up something that felt like it could have been maybe cinematic, right?
Yeah.
That to me is like you're teeing up something that's at least going that direction. Whereas the Mando and Grogu stuff, like there's just never been, I still have no clue because the trailers, I mean, done nothing. Like I have no clue what this movie's even doing.
Well, I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't even think they do because they've just kind of burnt all of the narrative threads for whatever this is. So like by the end of season 3, on top of that just being a bad season of television, and then resolving the Mando Grogu thing like really, really quickly, no one really cares about what's coming next. So you get this thing that just feels like a random, just like collection of
weird
of episodes, basically.
No, we weren't putting like cliffhanger. There's nothing leading to it. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's why
it's been a while too, right? Like it's been a bit since season 3 too. Like
so
it's destined to fail. But I mean,
it's gonna bomb.
It's a good movie, right? But
I never wish for a movie to fail, but like I honestly feel like this movie needs to fail so that they can get their shit together in order to just like
again, you're greenlighting the wrong stuff, and Star Wars thing recently has been so 60-40 where you gotten just some randomly really good projects thrown in.
I know.
But then you just do so much weird stuff that doesn't make sense to me. Like I sit here and I hear something about, and I know I don't know full story on this, but still I hear something about like James Mangold has this Old Republic type film that he really wants to begin a Jedi type thing where I'm like, why aren't it's just like, those are the things that I feel like as a studio you would push quicker, like try and move on. Because those are the things that would get people excited.
Hunt for Ben Solo.
Well, I was literally going to say, why was Steven Soderbergh's Hunt for Ben Solo not greenlit? Like they got so turned off on the idea of doing anything with the mess of the Rise of Skywalker. They didn't own the mess, and so they just kind of moved away from it.
Yeah.
They owned the mess and then decided to just like make something out of it, like make a Rey movie or make the Hunt for Ben Solo movie. Like you could have turned something that was like terrible into something that was great, which is exactly what the Clone Wars did for the Star Wars prequels. And I say that as someone who likes prequels.
That's true.
But like
Amen.
The Clone Wars makes those movies infinitely better. So could have done the same sort of thing.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. And that'll be one of our agree or disagree. So I won't get into this, but I will preface by just saying like there's so much content, and that's why I don't feel like the studio ever lately, Disney has ever listened to fans. Because like I feel like there are so many things that fans of Star Wars have been asking for a long time, and then we get certain projects that I feel like nobody's asking for, and it's just interesting to me. Like, what? where's the desire to do something? And then that's what bugs me is you have big time directors who are passionate and eager to do something, and you say, "Oh no, we got Mandalorian and Grogu we're working on. Steve, we're sorry, man."
Well, to be fair, Mando and Grogu was like a Bob Iger thing where I think he wanted to test how commercially viable that property was in cinemas, and so basically forced Jon Favreau to turn season 4 of Mando and Grogu into a film.
I know.
Feel bad for John.
Oh yeah.
That's not fair to me. I do. I mean, honestly, if I was in his position, I probably would have given up too. So the fact that he's putting like zero effort into this movie, I really don't fault him. I mean, he's kind of been coasting for a while there, but this is like the pinnacle of just like, fuck, man, you are just a guy doing it.
Like season 3 happens, Book of Boba happens. Jon Favreau's like, "Hey, all right, guys, I'm gonna."
He's like, "All right,
I'll show up in Deadpool and Wolverine for a sec. That's probably all you're gonna see of me."
Yeah.
He's so talented too when you give him stuff that he.
Seasons 1 and 2 were golden. They were golden.
Well, no, man, I want like Chef and Swingers Jon Favreau. Like I want him going back to just telling like making movies again, not making like a tech reel. Like
Star Wars only. Yeah,
totally agree with that. That's why I think season 1 and season 2 were great. With they were something that he had obviously had a lot of passion for and idea behind it in advance. But okay, before we get last couple things, and these could be quick. I just want for the fans, I want them to know your some 2025, 2026 thoughts. Could you give me, it doesn't have to be perfect, but what are the 5 or so most hyped 2026 movies for you going forward? So we're heading into a big year.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the Odyssey and then everything else. So it's like we're being honest.
I mean, obvious.
So it's like it's the Odyssey, Dune Messiah. I was excited for this movie, and then seeing the trailer yesterday, I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" Is the Cliff Booth movie?
Thank you. Yes.
I'm like, dude,
that was fun.
Fincher, Tarantino, Brad Pitt. Like I am. Oh my god, so locked in.
Fincher,
so locked
direct.
Yeah.
I mean, that popped on the television.
I was shocked. I had no inkling that they would show that at the Super Bowl. And I would have never guessed that.
In a good way, though, my father-in-law was like, "What's this?" And I'm sitting there immediately from like shot 1. I was like, "Oh my god!"
All my friends were like, "What is this from?" They don't watch movies. I'm like, "It's Tarantino." It's they don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah,
I was like, "I know exactly."
What was I thinking? Oh, I mean, Project Hail Mary. I'm actually very much looking for.
I was gonna say you better put that on your list. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I haven't read the book. Full disclosure. So like, I don't really know what to expect. I have like a vague idea of what to expect, but
You got a lot coming, man. I won't spoil anything, obviously, but yeah, I guess I'm the one that's read the book out of the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Kendrick's just
started it,
but yeah,
I might start it, or I might just try and experience it.
Honestly, here's the thing. So a lot of people were complaining that they showed too much.
Yeah, they showed the robot, right? Like but
here's the thing: if you haven't read it, I don't think that's a big deal to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
So like. Yeah. Having read the book, I think the people complaining about that are the people that have read the book. So to them, it's just like this.
But they already know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So it feels, but I don't feel like you really, like you can tell me, but I don't feel like you really know that much. You know?
No, I have no idea.
Just a premise, really.
Yeah. So I think it was great. I think they've done good with the
Lord and Miller and Ryan Gosling. Mm-hmm. You already know it's going to be probably a great movie, regardless of anything.
Yeah. No, exactly, and all the buzz surrounding it, at least like
the buzz too.
Movie is just like incredible. So,
It doesn't succeed.
It's gonna be great. The other one that I'm stoked about is I'm really curious to see how Clayface turns out.
Yes, I'm glad you gave a shout out to that. Not a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I
always forget about that.
Those are the kinds of like interesting DC projects that I'd like want to see more of from them, and then plus that script being like very lauded, the Mike Flanagan script.
Yes.
A lot of potential there. So I'm like really stoked on that. What was the other one?
And then one more.
How about the Michael movie, Griffin?
No.
No. Griffin, I'm so pumped for that movie. That's like up there for me.
What is
do you want to see like a candy coated version of Michael Jackson's?
Do you think it's going to be candy coated? That's the thing. Absolutely. Like we've talked about that. We do. Oh,
absolutely.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't think the movie could get made unless the estate was heavily involved, which I'm pretty sure it was, which is why
they were. They were.
They had to do a bunch of reshoots for it. So it's like
everything. The trailer's looking really accurate, but then again, I think they're only focusing on the part of the life that kind of is the candy coated part. I don't think you really get into the nitty gritty. And that's what everyone keeps saying, right? That it only ends at like kind of the peak and not all the horrible things that happen after. And I think if they had to hit those, that's a way harder thing to hit.
True. But that's also unfortunately, like Michael Jackson lived one of the most public lives you could possibly imagine. So a lot of the stuff that like this movie is looking to be touching on isn't really like interesting because it's like, we all know about it.
That's true.
Whereas the stuff that I think is interesting about him, and you could tie it into like his early life and whatever. Yeah. Is unfortunately just like all the controversial stuff that came out afterwards. Like that is unfortunately part of his legacy.
Yeah.
And then also, this is like a part 1 of part 2, by the way. Like they're making that part 2.
Yeah.
So I'll be really curious as to how that goes.
Because if they can really do it, like
even the legalities, right? How they had to reshoot a bunch because they couldn't even talk about certain things. Yeah. Like so that again makes me like I don't want to see another Bohemian Rhapsody. Like this is just gross to me.
So I do want to ask you really quick. just because. So as far as biopics recently, our favorite is Better Man. Did you end up seeing that? No one talked about it.
No, I actually haven't seen it, but that's interesting to me because
it's so good.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was one that I wanted to see. It just kind of like
sadly,
nobody watched
it's one
it.
of those that I feel like there's something every couple of years that just gets completely swept under the rug. Yeah. Literally, Kendrick and I, one of our favorite movies ever. I mean, just one of our favorite biopics.
Oh yeah.
But because the movie does.
It's into the dark stuff.
Dark and it's deep, that's what makes it good and real, right? I knew nothing about the character.
Robbie Williams. I never knew who Robbie Williams is, and then boom, like you're so into who he is after this. It's crazy.
That's your homework. I want to hear your thoughts on.
I would love
it for sure. Yeah, well, I think that's a great example where I think the person being involved with the project is very vulnerable and very willing to like go to those places. What makes it makes the film more interesting. It's the same thing with Rocket Man. Like I think Rocket Man was incredible. Rocket Man is the movie that everyone thought Bohemian Rhapsody was, and it was because Elton John was willing to like, talk about just like his drug addictions, his struggle with fame, his homosexuality, like all of these things. And it's just like, and then he turned it into this like fantasy like telling of it. It was so interesting, and and Taron Egerton was unreal in that movie. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's like that. I'm more interested in that kind of a biopic.
Which is valid.
It's like
I think for big fans, or at least for some, like I know I'm a big fan of Michael, but this is like a super fan of Michael. He's really excited just for the aesthetic and element. But I can see your thoughts on that.
I was gonna say too, like Deliver Me From Nowhere, like that Bruce Springsteen one. He also was really involved in that, and that was a great biopic that nobody also watched.
Yeah, I mean that one was unfortunately coming off the heels of A Complete Unknown. So I think a lot of people were just kind of like, I don't really want to see this. But the movie was like it was very different because it wasn't like about his like life.
It was just like one part of his,
which I thought was kind of cool. I liked it.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, I thought the movie was like fine, but he Jeremy Allen White was fantastic in it, and I'm glad that they were they focused on like a segment of his life
rather than kind of skim through everything.
Yeah, the person he was and everything. Yeah. So.
Okay, and then what? You can just spit them out if you want. What's your best actor for 2025?
Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, agreed.
And then best actress.
Probably just no. I really liked Rose Byrne, and If I Had Legs, I could kick.
Okay, I'm hearing that from a lot of people.
Okay,
that's one we missed.
We didn't see that one,
and then we happened to just not see it. We'll see it before Oscars, but
yeah. She's exceptional. I mean, Jessie Buckley is going to win the Oscar for Hamnet, but I really, really, really liked Rose Byrne.
Good shout out to Rose Byrne. I like that.
Yeah.
And then best picture for 2025. You personally?
My personal favorite, Marty Spring.
Marty Spring.
Okay. What do you think will win?
Best picture?
Yeah.
One Battle After Another.
Okay. I would be so happy about that.
That'd be cool.
Because I think Sinners, and it's not that I wouldn't be happy if Sinners won, but I just feel like it's vibing towards Sinners. But I would love for One Battle to pull that out. It'd be so cool.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I mean, Sinners is probably more of like the populist pick, but I think like with One Battle, I mean, you've got PTA racking up all the awards. He just won the DGA. The movie's probably going to win the PGA, and that's basically game over. I think if it wins the DGA and the PGA, boom, you got it set there. So
that makes sense. And then, what was your biggest surprise of 2025? Movie.
My biggest surprise. Let's go to my list real quick because I actually
have a list of surprises.
No. Just, yeah, can you imagine? No. Just my list of movies. That way I could have a better idea. Hold on, bear with me real quick.
You're good.
Biggest surprise, God,
because we know biggest surprise of 2023.
Gran Turismo,
right?
Gran Turismo was a massive surprise. I mean,
that was the. I'm saying that because I don't know if you remember, but that was your line from that video. You were like, dude, this is honestly the surprise of 2020.
It was, man. That movie rules. I still stand by that. I don't know. I guess this is a surprise, quote unquote. I've got an actual surprise and then one that's like more of a surprise. I thought The Naked Gun was like the funniest movie I'd seen in years. Like that movie genuinely floored me.
It works, dude.
Yeah,
not
it's
the
great.
Greatest movie ever, but like it was so funny.
No, I mean it's a
movie.
it like scratched the itch that I had been having for like an Austin Powers 4. So that was like,
yeah, for sure.
Love that. I think the actual biggest surprise for me, because I didn't think it was going to be that good, was Predator Badlands. That movie actually wound up.
Thank you.
It was really freaking good.
That's a banger. I mean, that's
a banger. Yeah, it's really good.
And I talked to some people that didn't like it, and I was like, "Why?" And they just wanted more of a classic Predator movie. And I was like, "Dude, that movie is still top tier."
I mean, you have so many of those movies. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I was like, "Dude, it's so unique and good." Oh my gosh!
I walked out saying it was the best Star Wars movie we've had in years.
I mean, honestly, it is. Like, dude, 20th Century, they know what they're doing. They've got their shit on lock over.
Been killing it, yeah.
Well, what's his name? I mean, the guy that's been directing and just like front running a lot has been killing it.
Yeah. He's been doing great.
Because Alien Earth was really good too. I liked Alien Earth a lot.
Well, Alien Earth's great. Yeah, I mean, that was Noah Hawley who did.
Oh, that's right.
Was it Legion, and a couple other things. I don't know if you guys ever watched that show Legion, but like holy shit,
heard of it.
But I forgot.
Dan Stevens. That's like up there as like one of the greatest comic book shows of all time.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll put that on the list.
Yeah, just complete mind bender.
Well, we're gonna end on just a few agree or disagrees. We like doing these. Now, what we're gonna do is thumbs up or thumbs down, because we don't have agree or disagree signs.
Okay.
But so we'll just say thumbs up or thumbs down, and give some thoughts on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Thumbs up or thumbs down. The Odyssey is going to be a decade-defining film.
I mean, probably all of his movies have been decade-defining at this point.
Good point.
Maybe century-defining. How excited are you for the Odyssey?
Oh, incredibly excited. Yeah. I am. I'm like, I think it's going to be unreal. Weirdly, I was more excited about Oppenheimer, but I think that's just because coming off of Tenet, it was just like, oh, dude, you're in a headspace that I'm like really vibing with.
True.
Cillian Murphy, RDJ, you're like, oh, let's go.
Yeah. I'm like, this is interesting. The Odyssey, I'm just like, I'm like, yeah, fuck.
Oh,
like, just
you see a trailer, you're like, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you? I was. So just to tell you a quick experience. We walked into our IMAX theater, we were just trying to get there in time to watch the prologue, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen this happen, but like I arrived there late and I could hear it just starting. Right. I ran up to the ticket booth, I like scanned my ticket really fast and then just ran in. But I didn't want to go find my seat. So I just wanted to be able to just witness it without walking away. So I sat there in the walkway of the theater, right? Just watching it. But I mean, for one, it was just one of the most amazing things I think I've ever seen. Then it ends. I'm not kidding. I turn and there are about 15 to 20 people in the walkway of the theater, just staring up at this screen. And I look, one of the guys, we all kind of look at each other as it ends.
We're just like,
and the guy looks at me and he's like, well, that fucking slapped.
Straight up, dude.
I got giddy. Like I was more giddy for that than Avatar, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like it's crazy. It's like the second that every time I've gone to the movies and that trailer comes on, you could hear a pin drop. It just completely
You're locked. You're locked in every time.
One of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to go so hard. Yeah.
It's going to go so hard. All right. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Star Wars live action movies need to dive into Star Wars live action movies need to dive into a different, fresh storyline or time frame rather than the Skywalker saga.
I'm kind of in the middle on that one.
Okay.
I don't think it's necessary per se. I think it would benefit them, but I don't think it's like there's stuff they can do after the sequel trilogy. There's stuff that they can they could tell their Heir of the Empire story if they really wanted to.
Sure. But do you feel like it would be better for them to get some traction?
It would be beneficial to move away.
Okay. Yeah,
I agree.
Like even if it's just like get some Old Republic stuff or do I don't know, like do something that I feel like you could do well, that directors aren't feeling an immense amount of pressure trying to tie together with maybe other projects, right? Which I feel like JJ and Ryan had a lot of, issues from fans with. It's just like that pressure of trying to like appease, different sets of people. But I feel like you start in a different time frame could help.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally. I just something fresh is really just what they need. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Thumbs up or thumbs down. The DCU should have a well-known, successful actor play Batman.
I'm gonna go sideways on that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm kind of sideways. I don't think it's like essential.
Sure.
I'd probably rather go for someone who could like create their own version of Batman. But like, I really, who's my pick for Batman? Oh yeah, like I really think that like Jonathan Bailey could be like an interesting Batman.
He would be a cool.
Oh yeah.
But
like again, I feel like you gotta. Is there a Batman that we've had that hasn't been a big face going into Batman before? You know what I mean? Like I feel like
it was that big of an actor before becoming Batman. Christian Bale.
Was he not? I guess maybe
American Psycho was big, but like but like him as an actor, I don't think people are like, oh, Christian Bale. Like he wasn't an A-lister.
That's a good point. I think a lot of people miss that, including myself. I never thought of it that way. True. I guess going in, maybe I just got brainwashed with that idea that he was big, but you're right.
I think Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson made people realize this. Like, oh, you have to go after big name people. I don't. But it's not
because I'm still like Alan Richardson would be so freaking dope, of course. But like,
I could see. Or go ahead.
But yeah, I was just saying. I think you could also get a unknown who's just really good for the role, and he can make it good. So I guess that's why I'm sideways with that.
I guess maybe you don't want to take too much away from David Corns, but either. And if you get maybe somebody that's a little too big name, that could conflict. I don't know. Who do you think about? Why can't I think of his name? The guy that's in The Housemaid and about him, Brandon Sklenner.
That just feels like an industry plant kind of idea. Like I don't actually think that's like.
The look that would be the look would be good.
The look is there. Yeah.
I guess. I mean, like it's I don't know. Whenever someone just starts lobbying that hard, I'm just like, all right, man. Like, all right, man.
It's a turn off. Like Alan Richardson and and Brandon Sklenner, for whatever reason, have been like doing everything they can to get their name on that ballot. But
I think the thing with Batman, and this is why Pattinson is so good, is that like Bruce Wayne, the actual Bruce Wayne, not the facade he puts on, is like a fucking weirdo. Like he's an actual.
I love that movie.
He's a recluse. He's like a freak. He has no social skills.
Well, also here too, especially right. Like obviously, over time in the comics, he became a little bit more of an outgoing individual. But like, we're talking about a guy who puts on a mask at night and goes and beats up villains. Who had his parents
to deal with his childhood trauma, right? Like it's like that's a freak. You need a guy who's a freak to play Batman. That's what it is. Yeah.
Jonathan Bailey would be a cool pick though. And again, I think he isn't overtly successful, but he is still successful enough. People are going to know his name. I think that's a really good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he can balance both sides of the character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you'll like this one. I'm curious what you'll think. Kendrick already gave me his thoughts on this one, but if Denis Villeneuve gets to do a Bond trilogy rather than just a single movie, it will be his Dark Knight trilogy, like Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, meaning like it'll be something that's that iconic for him.
I'm gonna go no, because he's already got Dune. Dune is that thing for him.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If you look at what the Dark Knight is for Nolan, that being the thing that brought him to prominence and made everyone familiar with him. That's what Dune is for Denis. So,
so you're saying I see what you're saying. So like, Dune has already accomplished that for him.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Especially with Messiah.
Bond just seems like such a iconic franchise that if he does it in his own way extremely well, this could be something that like, would he be remembered more for it than Dune? I don't know.
Probably not, only because he's the guy who successfully adapted Dune, whereas like Bond is a long-running franchise. Because it's like Sam Mendes, who's like a pretty accomplished director, and he made 2 Bond films back to back. He's not like known for Bond. Like he's just known as being a filmmaker.
Good point. Good point. Okay, I like that. No, it's actually, I like that last part. He did something with Dune that hadn't been done before. So
I mean, he proved that you could adapt it. Yeah.
Which was and Nolan's going to do the same thing with the Odyssey. So
exactly.
Yep.
Okay, and then I think is this the last one? Yeah. Okay. If you had a choice between the Russo brothers or Phil Lord and Chris Miller for a comic book movie trilogy, Phil Lord and Chris Miller are the standout choice. To me, that's
what am I saying? I agree with that.
Yeah,
absolutely, dude. Yeah, it's not even no contest.
No contest. That's what I think. Why are you going middle? Okay. Let me just put
not it, man.
Hey, I think they're both great with their comic book stuff.
Yeah,
I love both their comic book projects a ton.
But to me,
I don't think it's an easy pick for me.
Okay, here's the thing. What have Phil Lord and Chris Miller proven that they can do? They've proven they can do it all. Right?
I mean, it's true. That's a good point.
They've done the comedy. They've done serious. They've done sci-fi. They've done comic book. They've done all of it. The Russo brothers haven't been able to prove anything outside
of what they did in comics.
And here's my other take. Here's my other thought. Phil Lord and Chris Miller have written their own universes and content. They've created their own elements.
That's true.
Russo brothers have never been able to do that. They and they're good at it. I love the Russo brothers for what they've done for the MCU. That's not what it's no disrespect to them, but they have achieved off of building blocks. Like they're good at taking things that have been accomplished and maximizing on that. They've never proven to be good with creating their own type of universe or content where it's like, if I'm looking at, okay, we're going to do a new comic movie trilogy, who do I feel more confident in? I feel like it is an easy choice for me to go Phil Lord and Chris Miller. But
yeah, I mean, they're literally doing that with Spider-Verse. Like it's
true.
Whereas like the Russos like have tried to do like what the Gray Man and Citadel.
No, I know. Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Like
well, thank you, Griffin. This was awesome.
Yeah, of course. No, it was a good time, man. Always a great time with you guys.
Yeah, we always love talking to you, and we appreciate it genuinely.
Oh, yeah, we do.
There's lots going on in the world. There's lots going on in life, and you've got a lot going on. So I just appreciate taking the time, and it's always fun with everything going on to just talk about.
Yeah, now Griffin's movie mind's always great to hear from. So I'm always loving his thoughts. I'm gonna keep watching your videos and everything, Griffin.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I'm glad that you've gotten this thing back up and running, and that you're killing it. So
yeah, that YouTube issue was hard. We're,
it's a tough game, but I mean, I think you guys are you found your niche and your thing. So that's awesome. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Any last things you want to say at all to fans or anything? I guess you already said your shout out to your
everybody channel, check out FilmSpeak.
Go check out the FilmSpeak channel. The only thing I will say is so this week there's a movie coming out called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. It's Gore Verbinski's new film. Go see that movie. Like just go see that movie.
Okay.
It's really good. It's like small budget, original filmmaking. It's really in touch with just our current dilemma with technology and AI and just like a lot of the social
a movie that can actually touch on those topics well.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. It's just and then it's made by Gore Verbinski, who I think is just one of the most brilliant minds in blockbuster filmmaking. Well, just not even blockbuster, just the filmmaking
just in general. Yeah.
Just super wacky, super like bonkers and unconventional. And I think if you really just need a fresh film to just go in and see, go see that. It's a blast too. Sam Rockwell is giving an incredible.
I'm so excited to see him, bro.
I keep seeing ads on my letterbox for that movie. Keep popping up. So I'm like,
put it on the list.
We gotta support the original filmmakers. Yeah, That's the thing. People creating original content. I always gotta go get out there and support it. It's the one thing that I've always hated about that I dog on people about is with things like, we complain a lot with some of our big studios that they're not bringing out original content, but there are many times where they do
and no one checks
and no one shows up. Yep. So gotta show up.
Show up. That first weekend matters.
It does. Thanks, Griffin. And thank you guys. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Go look up FilmSpeak, Griffin Schiller, and enjoy the movieverse.